I have arrived at what I would easily describe as one of the most fascinating places I have been to in a long time. This is Mount Wilson Ranch. He was kind of standing there, I was standing here, and I'm getting it now, like a really weird dizziness. It's strange. It's like I'm hallucinating or like I'm in a trance. I just saw something else out the corner of my eye. That I feel like this place is playing tricks on me somehow. It's just very, very strange. Like I just saw another shadow. I was asking the owner about this earlier, and apparently there is like an energy field buried underground down there in the meadow, and they have vibrations they pick up. This is particularly terrifying. It's like a haunted Christmas decoration, potentially. I feel like there is a shadow figure following us, because I just saw that flicker. I'm not even joking. So earlier when I saw that shadow figure, I was standing through that door out in that corridor, and it passed by this window. He was 100% convinced that aliens are not only buried under the ground, but they are amongst us. Things are about to get a little scary. It's there. It's in there. Welcome back to the Brocarde show. As you may be able to tell, I am a far cry from the bright lights of Sin City. I have ventured off into the desert on another ghost-busting adventure. Today, this is no ordinary paranormal exploration. I have arrived at what I would easily describe as one of the most fascinating places I have been to in a long time. This is Mount Wilson Ranch, and this place has an energy that is unexplained, undescribed, and off the chart. We're talking skinwalkers, aliens, energy fields, government secrets, and ghosts. This place is a hotbed of paranormal and extraterrestrial activity. And I'm going to explore and share some of the best stories that Mount Wilson Ranch has to offer. So, as you may be able to tell, I'm going to be in for one hell of an adventure. This is my abode for the evening. This is the Shaman Room, and we are on native land. The things that have been unearthed in this property will absolutely blow your mind. Whatever energy fields are at play, it has had people running from their rooms in the dead of night. Regardless of that, I have it on very good authority from the owners that this is a tranquil place, and the energy, although it is intense, it is peaceful and a place of sanctuary. And they have welcomed me in to their ranch, and this isn't a hotel, this is a private ranch. They open it up to visitors and guests. They do a lot of paranormal investigations here. They have been on numerous TV shows. This has been on the History Channel, Ghost Adventures, all of the usual suspects. But more than that, because of its proximity to Area 51, it's about 70 kilometers off the edge of Area 51. People who are actually staying here are being woken up in the middle of the night by huge orbs floating in the night sky, because we are literally in the middle of nowhere. If you ever have the opportunity to visit this ranch, the first thing that you will notice as soon as you step out the car is the absolute silence and tranquility. There is nothing for miles. You're a good 10 kilometers off the main road, and I say a main road, this is not the M25, the main road through the valley. So yeah, seclusion is going to add to the element of fear this evening, I feel. Another highly fascinating thing about this ranch, it used to be owned by Robert Bigelow, and he apparently was so terrified something happened to him one day. He saw something and immediately had to sell the ranch. So what did he see? What is lurking in this property? What dark entities are at play? Or is it just a tranquil ranch, a sanctuary? Today, I'm going to explore. Tonight, I'm going to explore further. It's actually sunset now, so it's a beautiful time of night to arrive. I'm going to go down and try and hit the meadow before it gets really, really dark. I've already had some really strange experiences here. I don't feel very well. I feel very, very sick. Not so much over here in the Shaman Room, but I'm going to take you now over to the main saloon, and I have already seen a paranormal entity here. While the owner was doing his tour earlier, something caught my eye out the corner of my eye, and this dark shadow appeared in the room. I'm going to take you back to that spot and explain exactly what I saw. But this guy, Jeff, both of the owners here are lovely people, Jeff and Nick Nack. They are so friendly and so welcoming and such fascinating people to chat to. They have a multitude of stories and tales, and just literally you could sit down and speak to them for hours and hours and hours, and they could tell you stories of previous owners, things that have happened here. It's really, really enlightening and really, really interesting. I had a really strange encounter when Jeff was talking to me. There's something, he is quite an interesting man, and something bizarre was kind of happening when he was explaining these stories to me. I felt like I was almost being hypnotized. It was a really strange energy, and I felt like I was in a daze. I felt like I was just staring at him a little bit too much. I felt like I was sort of in sort of a trance-like state, and the energy sort of surrounding that area and surrounding that room was just really, really strong. And I immediately said to him, I want to leave. I want to go. My instinct is to leave. I didn't leave. I'm still here. We kind of continued talking about the property. He told us some more stories, took us outside. But in that saloon area, it's very strange and it's very heavy. So I'm going to head over there now and show you exactly what I mean. This used to be a Western themed hotel resort, so you will notice the Western decor and the kind of nods to yesteryear, but to me that kind of adds to its charm. So let's go and check out the saloon and the other areas of this huge ranch. So as soon as you come into the main building or the public areas at the ranch, this is called Minor Diner outside, and there's so many antiques and knickknacks. You could actually spend ages just looking at this stuff. It's like an antique shop, like a bric-a-brac shop, all just stuff that the owners have collected over the years, and there's some obligatory sage to ward off any bad energy. So there's a little hallway area, and this is where I was standing earlier, and right behind by the curtain I saw a black figure walk past, and I just felt really, really sick. I mean, just a very odd, dizzy, heavy energy, and that was kind of what made me want to leave. Like, I was listening to all the stories from the owner, and I was standing there and I saw that, and I was just like, oh, I just don't want to be here. And I had the instinct that I just wanted to turn around and get out of this place. But the feeling's passed, and like I said, I'm still here, but I do not know what I saw out the corner of my eye. And you know when something's quite fleeting, and the curtain kind of moved and it was all kind of a blur, and I was distracted because I was listening to these stories, and yeah, it was kind of in the distance through this doorway. So kind of interesting to experience and to figure out what that was. There are a lot of sightings of shadow figures here, whether that is like ghostly shadow figures, Skinwalker type shadow figures, depending on what you believe. I obviously am a firm believer of ghosts and paranormal activity. Skinwalkers are an area that I've never explored and I've never encountered, and I'm not sure I'd want to. There is a level of paranormal activity which I think I've become accustomed to, like seeing apparitions, smelling ghosts, communicating, feeling energy fields. But when it comes to kind of things like skinwalkers and creatures of the earth, whatever you describe that energy as, it's a little bit beyond me. I don't know if I want to encounter that. I'm not saying I'm going to at this ranch, but I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of like the unknown. So yeah, watch this space on that one. So regardless of what you believe in terms of skinwalkers and the term Skinwalker Ranch, I mean, this is apparently the original Skinwalker Ranch. There is a ranch that is known as Skinwalker Ranch, but apparently this is the first ranch that reported sightings of things that people have identified as being skinwalkers. But regardless of all of that, it's actually quite a fascinating historic hotspot, and there's lots of references to history. As you can see, this was back when Robert Bigelow owned the ranch, and extensive research happened on this property into UFOs, space, time travel, all of that kind of stuff. Some crazy, crazy stories from that era. This was his paranormal hot squad. We call them hot squad. He would bring in teams of people like me who can sense spirits, people who have expertise in various different areas, because he was absolutely fascinated about figuring out what on earth was going on this property. And like I said earlier, apparently something scared him enough to immediately sell this property and get the hell out of here. Apparently he was burying some of the things that they had dug up from the land to try and suppress whatever energy they found here. So potentially quite a disturbing place. This is my favourite part of the ranch for very obvious reasons. When you're from the UK, it's quite rare that you see Wild Western bars like this, or authentic Wild Western bars. A lot of these features are decades, centuries, no, years and years and years old and original. The actual stead over the bar is from Britain, so there you go, a little historical fact. This is the very spot earlier where I felt really, really ill. Remember when I was saying I wanted to leave, I wanted to get out, and I actually said this to Jeff, I said this at the time, I actually feel like I wanted to leave. He was kind of standing there, I was standing here, and I'm getting it now, like a really weird dizziness. It's strange, it's like I'm hallucinating or like I'm in a trance. It's not like, I'm gonna run out the door. It's like very heavy, very intense. It's like I'm nauseous and I'm spinning, and it's like someone's doing this, like a pendulum in front of my face, hypnotizing me. It's just very odd. But yeah, I mean, that aside, I mean, why would you not want to come and experience this bar. I mean, it's pretty epic. I mean, I don't know what the situation is here. I mean, this is their own private ranch, their own private bar. I mean, this would be amazing. Imagine having this. This is just your own local. It's your own bar. It's your own private place. So, I feel like, like I was just saying about that intense dizziness, I feel like I can't string a sentence together. All of a sudden, I've lost all kind of ability to articulate myself in a normal manner, and I'm sort of just distracted by this weird, sort of strange force field of energy that's in this area, and things keep catching just out the corner of my eye, subtly. And it's not quite sunset yet, so we are here in the afternoon. It'll be interesting to see how this evening transpires, but even from an exploring perspective, this place is pretty cool. And I think they do ghost hunts and stuff here. I mean, of course they do. It's a paranormal hotspot, but it's not just that. This isn't just your typical, oh, let's go ghost hunting. It's not that kind of place where, we don't have the ghost of a cowboy. Well, we might do. I just saw something else out the corner of my eye. That I feel like this place is playing tricks on me somehow. It's just very, very strange. Like I just saw another shadow, and I don't know what that is. It's bizarre. Anyway, lost my train of thought yet again. What I was trying to say is this isn't one of those places, and I learned about this place, I found it, I've Googled it, I know a little bit about it. I'm not coming in here completely blind. I don't know an extensive amount about it. I mentioned earlier that it's been on Ghost Adventures, it's been on YouTube. I've never watched a YouTube about this property, never watched the Ghost Adventures episode, so I'm blind from that perspective. I know about the kind of huge paranormal connection with Area 51, the kind of aircraft research, the things that are buried underground. I was asking the owner about this earlier, and apparently there is like an energy field buried underground down there in the meadow, and they have vibrations, they pick up activity on devices at certain times. So there is something under the earth here. There is an entity under the earth, according to the owner. We're not necessarily, there's just so much. Like, I've never been somewhere where there's so many different things that I could talk about. There's loads and loads of fascinating topics here, and loads of stories, which of course I love. Like, I love storytelling. I love hearing those encounters from I'm like out of breath. It's very strange. Maybe I do need to move from this spot. I need a big like X on the floor right here, because it's very, very peculiar. And in there, but yeah, come back to the saloon in a bit. But you can play shuffleboard here. I mean, by yourself or with an entity. With the Shadow Man, you can play shuffleboard with a Skinwalker. That's quite a good marketing ploy. I don't know what I'm talking about. See, I need to move from this spot because I'm becoming incohesive. So I'll show you a little bit more about the property. There's a lot of other rooms. There's a kitchen, there's kind of chill areas. Like, there's actually a terrace upstairs, which looks so cool. I'm going to go upstairs and have a little look. So come with me. Very cool. Looks like a gallery. Need some country tunes and a bottle of Jack Daniels. But yeah, you could spend ages chilling in here. I guess if you come here with a huge group of friends, I mean, I guess you can sort of sit in the bar and enjoy a quiet drink or a cup of coffee. So this room here is a little bit of a treasure trove. I mean, you've got a lot of the owner's stuff. You can see their Christmas decorations and things like that. But there are some quite fascinating devices and machines that Robert Bigelow left behind. He left them on the ranch. So if you come through, it gets a little bit more interesting. This is particularly terrifying. It's like a haunted Christmas decoration, potentially. See, I'm not a gadget and gizmo expert, but apparently this device here was left behind by Robert Bigelow. But I'm not into the technical elements of what you can do. There is a whole minefield of stuff that is way beyond what I can comprehend, especially when you're talking about researching into aliens and life forms from other planets. Like, I know so little and I want to learn so much. So this is kind of the extraterrestrial highway, quite literally for me. So I'm expanding. Ghosts are getting boring now. Oh no, I feel like there is a shadow figure following us, because I just saw that flicker. I'm not even joking, I just generally... Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not like it's like a flash, like a figure. I can't make out what the figure is. It just keeps coming into my peripheral vision, like over the camera. It's quite bizarre. So this place is definitely active. Like, it's highly energy charged, or whatever that energy is. It's in the ground, it's in the bones of the building, it's seeping through me as I talk. Very, very cool. In some ways it's cool. I don't know if at 3 o'clock in the morning it would be cool, because as I said, we are literally good 10 kilometers from the main road, and a good 40 minutes if you want to go and get yourself something to eat. So we are remote, we are off the grid, and we are surrounded by government land as well. So I actually don't know what you would do in the instance of something happening here, which does add an added level of fear, because it's just you and the mountains and the dust and the meadow and the skinwalkers or whatever's lurking here. So, and I guess it's time for me to get out of the junk cupboard. It's very cold in here, but I think that's just because it's dark and there's not much space for light, and it does get cold. You know, I know we're in the desert, we're in Nevada, but it does get hella cold in the evenings and first thing in the morning. So it's not all like hot weather, beautiful sunshine. And I think this ranch will change over the course of the evening. When the light starts to fade, I think this will be a different place to be, which is unsettling, I have to say. And I want to try and get down to the meadow before it gets pitch black, because I don't want to be walking around in the dark for the first time. So I'm going to go down there when the sun's setting, because I think that would be a beautiful thing to do. But yeah, let's get out of the junk cupboard. So earlier when I saw that shadow figure, I was standing through that door out in that corridor, and it passed by this window. Quite mysterious, because obviously the curtain is black. Oh shit, I just saw. It keeps catching my eye. It's really, really odd. But as I was saying, there was an entity here. And when I was describing that, you saw it there. This is quite common with places like this that are highly charged with supernatural energy. It feels like it's following you. Like, I feel like I am being watched, and this energy force is almost trailing me and surrounding me. It's quite hard to describe. It doesn't necessarily translate me talking about this, because, you know, when we pan the camera around, you hear that tapping. I have no idea what that was, but let's just say it was not paranormal, just for my own sanity. But yeah, it's a weird kind of... I feel like I want to go and investigate what that was. That's the clock, but that wasn't the same noise. This is a kitchen area, so it could have been noises from a fridge, I guess, or something like that, but it sounded like a tapping. They have pretty much a full-size canteen kitchen here, and this is where the noise sounded like it was coming from, but there are fridges. There's a clock tick, but I don't think that was it. This was a tapping, so I followed the tap and I can't find the tap, but gosh, I'm really starting to worry about what this place is going to be like after dark now. It's a little bit terrifying, to be honest. But yeah, continue. So when you come out the other side of the kitchen, there's a little chill area. You can make yourself some coffee, you can eat your food, have some cereal in the mornings. They kind of try to take care of their guests quite nicely here, which is really sweet. But there is a book called Forbidden Science, which is on the table, and the owner was telling me that this is what got him interested in this property and excited to find out more about what's going on here. And the book is open on this page, and they're talking about, this is Las Vegas, Friday the 16th of August in 1966. We spent the day exploring the Mount Wilson Ranch. Dr. Tim Ryan of Sarah brought along a positioning device. We drove through Prioche where we met Sally Wadsworth, a blonde grandmother who is one of Bob's local contacts, and 3 men from his construction company to measure and inspect the property. We reached the place mid-morning. The first thing we saw was a row of wooden western buildings that reminded me of Dodge City in the movies, with peeling paint on their tall up fronts. It's like I said, it does look like a Wild West resort when you pull up here. So this is what the book is referring to. Blah, blah, blah. There is a lot of information about describing the different rooms, describing the pianos. But this line, the ghost of a tall Native American is rumoured to show up in one of the rooms. Okay, I did not know that before I got here, so I wonder if that is where the rumoured Skinwalker connection is coming from. Like I said, I would describe it as a shadow figure. At this point in my stay, I have nothing else to give. I couldn't tell you if it was Native American, but this is native soil. They have found extensive native historical artifacts, weapons, weird stuff all over this ranch, in the hills, in the mountains, just strange stuff which predates this property and this ownership, and probably even the ownership of Robert Bigelow. And the next bit, I haven't actually read the next bit myself, so. On the way, we learned that blue lights and an X-shaped white glow were seen back in 1993, but I wasn't convinced by Shelley's stories of crafts following cars at night, of the UFOs that shot intense beam. So basically this guy is saying that there has been UFOs spotted here, but he's not convinced, but obviously... Sorry, I'm reading as I go. I should have pre-prepped and read this before coming on camera, but it's all part of the fun. At least you know I don't rehearse, and this isn't all fake, which is a good thing, I think, when it comes to ghost hunting and ghost hunting adventures. A local man has sworn to Shelley that an accident happened at Area 51 in 1972 in which aliens who were building a craft for the US were killed, as well as our scientists. He claimed that he had to transfer the bodies to the morgue. So we're talking about dead aliens potentially here, which could explain what is buried in the meadow. Anyway, this is quite a fascinating book. I think I need to pick this up for myself. Kind of a little bedtime reading. It's probably not going to help me go to sleep. Yeah, it goes on to talk about UFO sightings, flying saucers. There is definitely a lot of people that think they have spotted something extraterrestrial here, which seems highly possible, I guess. But for me, I'm just dealing with the shadow man who's a potential skinwalker, so good times. I really want to go back to the little saloon because it is the most stunning part of this building, and yeah, I just feel quite, even though, let's just go back to the saloon. So for those of you who have watched my videos, you will know that dancing around is my thing. I like to spin, I like to twirl. It's kind of my bizarre form of self-expression, but I do keep wanting to be in this spot. Don't know why, but I want to be in this spot, even though it's weird. So I keep getting drawn back to it, and I keep feeling the same things. I keep getting drawn back to that spot, which is strange. It's kind of an odd, obvious spot. It's bang center in the middle of the bar area here, which is a little bit strange. But yeah, here I am, back in the same spot. I was kind of, and I feel like he's the unsung hero of my video, but I keep talking about the guy who owns this ranch. He's called Jeff. And when I was talking to him earlier, he was obviously drawn to this ranch for a reason, and depending on what you believe, depending on whether you're kind of spiritual, I suppose is the word, if you believe that everything in life happens for a reason, then he kind of found himself coming into owning this ranch. He bought it off Robert Bigelow. It was kind of like, see, like this is what I find odd, right? In this spot, I cannot talk. And I cannot talk about, my mind. Like, it's like my mind has gone blank. It's a very odd feeling. It hasn't happened in any other spot, really. It's very odd. In this spot, I cannot string a cohesive sentence together. What I was trying to explain is how the owner came to be at this ranch, and how the transaction kind of happened, etc., 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 and how, my mind is blown. It's like something doesn't want me to say certain things, maybe? I don't even know. It's like there's something suppressing my thought process here, and I'm just drawn to that dizziness and that strangeness. It's almost like being slightly overcome by something, which is very, very strange. I'm not saying I'm being possessed or anything that dramatic, but it's like a very strange feeling of being overcome, and I can't talk properly, and it's very odd. But anyway, I will move on, because I guess watching someone not be able to string a sentence together isn't the best YouTube content in the world. I just had a really weird thought out of nowhere, and I was about to leave this room, and I just had a really weird thought, like, of playing pool with a shadow figure, which is just really strange because like, oh, I have the desire to play pool, and I'm like, who am I going to play pool with? And I just had this really odd apparition of a shadow figure standing at the end of the pool table, which is very strange and, yeah, I don't know, very bizarre. I want to know how this evolves. I want to know more. I want to know more. You know when you want to know more, but you don't want to know more? I'm very much at that stage right now. I want to know more, but I'm scared to know more. So, there we go. This is the area that I've been talking about. Down there, in the meadow, is what is believed to be a underground vortex, a huge portal. That's a bird. A huge portal where there is apparently a buried alien aircraft. There is something going on underground at this ranch that is very disturbing. The energy from the earth is causing crazy kinds of apparitions. I have a new best friend. I've managed to time this quite beautifully because the sun is setting, the light is quite stunning. Forgetting the potential alien aircraft that is buried beneath my feet, this is actually quite a beautiful, tranquil. It's quite a beautiful, tranquil walk and quite a calming experience. When you've spent 7 or 8 days on the Las Vegas Strip with the intensity of people everywhere, gambling, people drinking, people eating, excess, life, music, to come here is just like a huge shock to the system. It's like a massive escape from reality. But this is the lower meadow. There are actually rooms down here too, which would be, the rooms down here would, I think, would be much more terrifying because you are closer to the active soil, closer to the night sky, further away from civilization. I mean, we're pretty far away from civilization anyway, but this is the lower meadow area. There's a creepy little hut up there. if I'm brave enough, I'm going to come down here after dark. But if I come down here after dark, you will not see the beauty of this place. You will see very little apart from my face, because there's no light down here. It would be really cool to see the night sky and any potential flying objects. It's actually freezing cold now. But there's a rather large turkey. Never mind the aliens, there's a turkey and there's some animals, so I'm going to keep exploring. I'm an explorer by nature, so plenty more of this ranch to see. That is one hell of a huge turkey. I just got upstaged by a huge turkey. Guess they're not going hungry at Thanksgiving around here. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, poor turkey. They could be vegan, I don't know. But yeah, this is like a working ranch in many respects. I mean, I'm here to document the paranormal activity. And you can kind of see, I mean, we're up here in the mountains, but the soil looks rather disturbed, let's say that. And the energy field is interesting. The insects are attracted to the light. It's getting to that time of day. And I guess if we come down here after dark, I'm going to get beaten by aliens, eaten by aliens. See, I'm obviously getting tired. I need some E numbers. But I'm going to keep exploring. I think there are some, I'm sure there's a treehouse and some outbuildings. I'm going to keep exploring until I completely lose light. Come with me. If you go for a little wander around the property, you are literally going to keep exploring, keep finding new little treasures here and there. Down in the lower meadow, there's a lot of outbuildings. As I earlier said, this one is very, very derelict. It's bare bones vibe, but it's very, very eerie. When I walked in, that door slammed behind me. I swear to God, I saw some shadow, something weird up on that top ledge. And I don't actually know why I'm still standing in this room, to be honest with you, but that has freaked me out slightly. I can quite imagine after dark, when it gets dark here, because I'm already seeing so many shadow figures, if you add darkness to that element, it's really going to mess with my mind. I can kind of feel it. It's just very, very, it's like new energy around every corner here. And of course, as I said earlier, this is where there is supposed to be buried alien aircraft, or a buried alien aircraft. The reason that they're jumping to that conclusion is because out in the meadow there, they are getting electrical readings, they are getting readings on paranormal devices. Obviously, this ranch was bought by Robert Bigelow solely for paranormal purposes. He believed 100% that this land had something untoward going on underneath it, and he would have teams and teams of people. He would bring down 3 witches. He would openly conduct seances down here. He would be actively calling that negative energy out of the earth. I mean, I say negative energy, but we are talking about paranormal abnormalities. We're talking about skinwalkers. If you believe in skinwalkers, they are probably the most terrifying adaptation of a paranormal force you can imagine. And if you kind of saw something scuttling towards you on all fours in the dead of night down here in this meadow, you would not know whether that was alien life form. You would not know if that was alien life forms. You would not know what on earth that was. You would not know if it's like I don't even know. This place is so mystifying. When I was talking to the owner earlier, he was 100% convinced that aliens are not only buried under the ground, but they are amongst us. We have aliens living in this community, apparently. They are mingling in society. They're not little green men. They are creatures from out of space that look like us, talk like us, behave like us. So it is quite fascinating to hear different people's point of view on this. You know, that stupid kind of Area 51 logo, little green man, pointed face, etc., etc., etc. That is quite different from the type of UFO activity that is apparently going on down here, and it blows my mind to get my head around that. I mean, everyone has an opinion, everyone has their own thoughts. I mean, I don't think I'm necessarily buying into that whole kind of alien thing just yet, but the night is still young. Energy-wise, this place is blowing my mind, whether that's from the supernatural entities, the UFOs that are buried, whatever's going on. Apparently there are tunnels and tunnels and caves underneath this ground. There is like a world underneath this earth, and apparently that is what's going on this ranch. So make of that what you will. Don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger. And what's also scary about this ranch is we are on a ranch. There's literally, keep doing this, there's literally posters up saying that if you take one step you're going to get shot. So knowing that it's just us and the owners down here tonight, then I don't know what I feel about that. I mean, they seem very lovely, but quite vulnerable out here. Like I said earlier, I think sometimes I'm scared of actual people. I'm scared of a human knocking on my door in the dead of night. Skinwalkers, maybe I can handle, maybe I can't. Either would actually be terrifying, but ghosts I seem okay with now. Ghost seems like toast at the moment, you know? Like ghost hunting. Oh yeah, another ghost, another woman in a black dress, another apparition, another Victorian soldier, another, you know, another smell of lavender wafting past you. This is the real shit. We are in native country. All is going crazy. I think I'm going crazy. I've been filming and talking for so long. I think I need to get some food. But yeah, anyway, I've lost my mind again. This keeps happening here. It's very strange. Or if you watch my videos regularly, maybe this is just how I am. Maybe I just zone out and lose my mind regularly. But yeah, especially when there's energy forces, my mind seems not my own mind. Make of that what you will. The sun has now set over Mount Wilson Ranch. Things are about to get a little scary. It's really quite late here on the ranch. It's pretty much hitting midnight. I literally nipped out to get some dinner and now I'm back, and the whole energy, I mean, bearing in mind that nipping out for dinner was 40 minutes each way, the whole energy is really different after dark. I was saying earlier that there's a huge dirt track, 10 kilometers of dirt track that takes you to the main road, and the just really odd feeling of someone trailing your car. This is the closest I've ever felt to being like I'm in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something. I was half expecting some guy with a chainsaw just to be stood in the middle of the road. So we've touched on so many things. We've talked about ghosts, we've talked about aliens. Yeah, we have covered the supernatural, paranormal, Ethernet, yeah, the paranormal world. What we haven't talked about is the room that I'm staying in is the most haunted room on the whole property. Lucky me. This happens quite frequently, as you can imagine. Why is this room haunted? This is the room that allegedly Bob Bigelow had an encounter so horrific, so intense, that he felt the need to immediately sell and leave this property. He took that as a warning for him to get the hell off of this ranch. So this figure, this dark cloaked figure, has been seen lurking around this room, and even talking about it is giving me chills. I noticed that a lot of the time when I'm referencing what I'm seeing, I'm getting very odd feelings throughout my body, and I kind of want to go back now into the saloon. I want to go back into that other building, but there is a big part of me that is quite scared to open that door. I keep saying we're in the middle of nowhere. This is not a hotel in the traditional sense. I'm not in a building surrounded by rooms. This is like a kind of strip of shacks in the woods, and that way is, I say woods, in the mountains really. That way is just mountains. That way is mountains. That way is mountains. And there's a few other buildings this way, but you get the picture. It's literally me against the mountain range and whatever is buried out there in that garden, call it a garden, meadow. It's more than a garden. We can't call hundreds of acres a garden. I mean, it's this man's garden, but to the average human, that is, you know, a village, a town, it's a lot of acres. So this is quite a extensive property, to say the least, and we are surrounded, as I think I keep saying, by government land. So no one for miles, no one to hear your screams, and I get the impression that there is a bit of a government operation to cover up what has happened here over the years. The owner was saying that they keep recovering things, and they keep recovering things from underground, really odd things. Like he was showing us earlier that there was a kind of almost like a light, European looking sort of chandelier, which if you look at the surroundings of this area, it does not belong here. So how did that get underground? How did they recover that from the craters of this mountain? All very, very mysterious. You could literally spend weeks here and unearth a new story each hour. That's why this place is so fascinating, and that's why it's been featured so heavily in these travel documentaries and in these ghost adventures, because there is definitely a lot going on here. And I find what's strange here is there is a stillness, but I've noticed there's kind of like a residual noise. So it's really quiet, no traffic, no animals, no bird song. There was a few dogs barking earlier. Just kind of emptiness, but like a residual hum that fills the air. Apparently, those vibrations, if you put your head on the pillow, sometimes you can feel the earth beneath you moving because of what is allegedly buried underneath and in and around this property. So make of that what you will. I know a lot of you will be watching this wondering, what on earth is that woman talking about? And I experienced some crazy, crazy stuff in my life. I have encountered some paranormal activity that even I, to this day, can't explain. But when I come to places like this, my mind keeps opening and opening and opening. And I just realized, like, in the world of, like, UFOs, in the world of skinwalkers, this is not my territory. I know absolutely nothing of that world, and that is what's slightly terrifying. And I keep getting hit with this. Happens a lot in haunted locations. I feel like I'm being overcome with this energy and this emotion, and I can feel like you can even see it on my face. It's just very odd, and these kind of shadow figures, and yeah. So I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go out there into the pitch black. I don't know if I even want to walk down to that meadow after dark. I mean, I have a light on top of my camera, so I would be pretty much blind to whatever is around me. And you would actually see nothing because it would just look like pitch black everywhere. So I don't know if I have the courage to do that, but I'm going to go back over to the saloon and see how that feels in the midnight hour. Everyone knows that the veil between this world and whatever's out there starts to thin between the hours of like midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And it's easier for these entities to reach us. I keep catching shadows. It's really freaking me out. I don't like it. And it's making me feel very, very dizzy. I keep thinking the thing that scares me the most about this hotel room, or it's not really a hotel, this bedroom, is the fact that on the ground floor, as you will see, and you saw me walking into this room, so on the ground floor, and just the thought of something knocking on the window or running across the roof, like that is just gonna, I don't even want to talk about it or think about it. So anyway, let's go to the saloon. I'm back in the saloon, and I just I'm getting that feeling again. It's that corridor, there's something by that window. As soon as I came in here earlier, yeah, I don't have the nerve for this. I just don't want to be in here. I feel like I'm just being intensely watched from all angles, like this dark figure in that area. Like I literally felt sick, and I almost had to scurry down the corridor. And I feel like a lot of times when people come to, I want to go. It's there. It's in there. It's awful. It's like over there by that window. It's just making me feel sick. I feel like now is when I just do not like this place. I had the instinct as soon as I arrived, like, I want to leave, and in the daylight hours there was something quite beautiful and tranquil about it, so I was like, oh, it's fine, it's all fine, it's all fine. But when it gets to this time in the evening, that feeling that like those shadow figures are just there, like there is some God-forsaken thing hovering by that window, and just it trails you. Like, you feel like you're losing your mind because it trails you, and you see it there, and you see it there, and you see it there, and it is literally like you're losing your mind. It's I don't know what that entity even is, and I don't want to find out. It's like it's almost like people use the word skinwalker or whatever. It's like a sort of shapeshifter, because it kind of just trails you, and there's like someone watching, there's something here, there's some energy that is freaking me the hell out. And now it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to like wind down. I don't want to get into pajamas or get into bed or like get ready for bed, and because I feel like on edge. I feel like I'm kind of one step away from packing everything up and driving the hell out of here, but where the hell am I going? Like, we are miles from anywhere, and there's just eyes everywhere. Even in this room, it's just like I just feel like I want to go, and I just want to stop filming, because the light in my face is blinding me, and I keep seeing things here, there, and everywhere, and it's just cut, like, no.